Game of set 2 of week 5 of split 4 of the LCUS. Got it right this time, everyone. I am again joined by Jeff for game 2 between Phoenix and Blitzkrieg. How's it going
Strange
today?
game one. Absolutely a
Absolutely.
strange game one that we saw. I was saying before everything started to pop off at the very end there that while it was unfortunate what happened to Blitzkrieg in regard to the disconnect of Exia, which sort of seemed to start the snowball rolling in favor of Phoenix, you can't say that that's the reason they lost. They were just getting outplayed in a lot of skirmishes in the mid game. They started to get a foot back, but then they, I think, got too aggressive. They charged into a choke point, which is just a terrible idea against a wombo combo composition. And so while you can say that the disconnect affected things, I don't think that you can take too much credit away from Phoenix. I think they played that game quite well.
Yeah, absolutely. Phoenix played a mean game. I feel a little bit like Blitzkrieg would have preferred to have played a little bit better game back into them, which is a fair point. But other than that, speaking to Phoenix's played, no, they played perfectly. I wouldn't have changed a single thing if I was Phoenix.
Absolutely. So at this point, it's a pivotal game right here. Blitzkrieg, if they come out of this week with no points, I mean, they're in second right now, so they lose their spot at top of the standings, and they'll actually be tied with Phoenix, I believe, who would jump up to 7 points. Or no, they'll actually be just 1 point ahead. But Phoenix with a chance to really jump up from the middle of the pack up near the top.
And just like that, we're into bans. I'm always so interested in seeing how the teams change things up when it comes time to do the bans. And so far, so good. Nothing's changed.
Banning Exia Zed seems like a good idea.
I would normally recommend.
I've only seen it once in person so far this split, but it was extremely dominant.
That's kind of funny. I only saw it one time in person last split, and I think that they're correlated. The reason behind it is the same.
Renekton taken away from washed up top laner. That's not really surprising.
And who was their other ban at this point? It was another mid laner, wasn't it? No, it was they banned Kai'Sa.
And the Malphite ban comes out. So the Darien special. It's funny how it seems to happen in game 2 so often too. I think a lot of teams go in thinking, well, we can handle Darien's Malphite. And then it hits them in the face. And then it hits them in the face again. And then they decide to not deal with it.
Yeah, there was just so much
and
wombo
the
combo.
Fiddlesticks ban. Respect. Someone finally bans the Fiddlesticks away from Hohenheim after 3 sick performances in a row from the Phoenix mid laner.
Yeah, absolutely. I was almost expecting it in game 1, if I'm honest. He looked so good on that at last week. I thought maybe the teams would want to prevent that from happening. But instead, we get a Maokai in the top lane. This is also another one of Darien's favorites, and not exactly wholly unexpected, but a lot less wombo combo-y.
Yeah, certainly, can be effective in team fights, but doesn't have the big dynamite moment that Malphite does.
Exactly. It will give Wash Up top laner and the rest of Blitzkrieg a chance to react a little bit more than Malphite would have.
And Jack's coming right back on the side of Blitzkrieg.
Again, if memory serves, this could easily go in top or jungle. I think both players have played it before. So that's a nice flex pick that they've chosen again. But we'll see if J-Dog shows what his choice is.
Oh, Exia going to the assassin of all assassins. The illusionist LeBlanc will be on the rift, presumably in Exia's hands.
Yeah, exactly. I've actually I have been waiting to see how Exia is going to do on LeBlanc. LeBlanc is, to me at least, one of the assassins that I enjoy playing against the least.
Very impressive.
Yeah, so strong, and I think that this is absolutely the right time for Exia to break out the LeBlanc and to really go hard on the assassination front.
Fatley picking up Gragas. That's been a favorite of his so far this split. Now we'll see what Hohenheim chooses to play into LeBlanc. Of course, he could pick something else, but with the mid lane already picked, you can counter pick it and save your bottom lane for later if you'd like. And it'll be the Zoe. So we're gonna have small women hopping all over the mid lane, and then we're going right back to where they were.
Yeah, I guess both of them do that, don't they? LeBlanc's at least figured out how to choose to do that, but Zoe always pops right back where she was.
And Kane coming out.
Interesting.
So I would assume that'll be a top lane Jax then.
Correct, yep.
Kane. Can't imagine you would take Kane anywhere else on the Rift.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Although I'm starting to wonder. Oh, no, we've seen him in mid. Caps will play him in mid. Sure. Interesting enough. But going back a second, I actually really like Kane into Gragas because it's apparently the latest craze now for Gragas is to build a Predator route and focus on a more damage approach than a tank approach. And I actually really like. Yeah, sure. Exactly. I just really like Kane into that.
Right.
Caitlyn ban. I wonder if they'll take away the Tristana too.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I
sort of try to test Gotta Get Lucky's champion pool here.
As a just absolute ton of ADC bans come in, both Sivir and Misfortune taken out the table too. I personally, if I was Phoenix, I'd strongly consider banning Tristana just to put Gotta Get Lucky really on the back foot. Although unlike last game, in this game, there's a lot of damage on the team, and I don't think the damage necessarily needs to come from Gotta Get Lucky. So if he is forced on a safer pick or something like that, it's not exactly the end of the world.
And
a misban apparently.
Ban, actually, from Phoenix there. So so Blitzkrieg, they weren't afraid of the Wombo combo composition in game 1, were victimized by it, and they take away 3 components from it. One thing that is available now for Team Phoenix is that Tardis will be able to pick up his faithful Alistar should he so choose. And Evil Envy gets Jinx. We know how scary this guy can be on this champion.
Yeah, absolutely. Evil Envy, just a fantastic player to begin with. On Jinx, even more so. Interesting that they chose to pick Braum instead of taking away that Alistar. It just shows where their priority is at. I do really like the Braum pick, personally.
And Tardis looks like he's not going to go for the Alistar, hovering between Shen and Zillion.
And there it is.
Just teasing me the whole time. Should have seen it coming.
I think, Jeff, I appreciate that you talked during that, so I didn't have to make a decision. Because...
It could be Varus potentially for Gotta Get Lucky. So, Team Phoenix right now, they're set up with a composition that would essentially, if you get to late game, have 3 meat shields, and then Zoe trying to snipe chunks on the side, and then Jinx just looking to clean things up.
Yeah,
Instead
absolutely.
Of Blitzkrieg, once again, they sort of have that 1-3-1 potential again.
Yeah, no one enjoys being the person that has to meet Exia in a 1-3-1. And likewise, Jax is just as hard to deal with. The rest of the team providing a very decent disengage core for the 3 between Kayn, Varus, and Braum. So I actually very much like this 1-3-1 comp. I do want to shout out Lofi Senpai for hovering the Kennen ADC that Gotta Get Lucky likes to joke about. But we'll see if he ever pulls it out one day. Looking at Phoenix, they do have a really solid frontline for that Jinx, like you called out. That is going to be a difficult team to deal with, especially if they get ahead. Which if last game was any indication, Phoenix is definitely playing well enough to earn their lead. So should be a great game.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, a little recap. Phoenix and Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg came into this week topping the standings, right in the middle. Phoenix with a pretty convincing Game 1 victory. Blitzkrieg unfortunately had a little bit of technical difficulties, but Phoenix played really well. They brought out the Wombo combo with the Fiddlesticks Crow Storm that they used last week to get a 2-0. And so Blitzkrieg trying to salvage a 1-1, get at least 1 point from this week, as we are in week 5, and there's only 7 weeks in the regular season. So we're already coming up to the end here. Teams really need to start thinking about every single point, every game, to try to position themselves for playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Every game counts, and that's generally true in a 7 week split, but doubly so when you get at the very beginning or the very end, excuse me, because every match matters, and there's a lot of important teams on bye week right now. For example, Nine Lives is on bye week, and they're currently the second place team, or they were at the start of the week, and same here with Blitzkrieg. They were the first place team, and now they've lost one, and they really need to win this game if they want to have an easier go in the extra season.
Mm-hmm. Now, I would imagine that Blitzkrieg understands this, but it doesn't matter really, if you're 1 point behind and in second place as opposed to first with 2 weeks to go. But you wonder if it is a little frustrating for Blitzkrieg knowing that having lost that first game, there is no mathematical way for them to get back on top of the standings this week.
Yeah, exactly. Although if I was, I think Blitzkrieg and Option 12 both have bye weeks coming up. I think if I remember the schedule, that's true. So it's going to be really hard for Blitzkrieg to stay up top now.
Yes, Option 12's bye week is next week, and Blitzkrieg's is in week 7.
Exactly. So it's going to be. Well, if you're Blitzkrieg, you just gotta play the best you can, right? But
Sure.
But yeah, it's really volatile to see who lands in first place. It could be anyone's game at this point.
Mm-hmm. Now, as we wait for the spectator delay, just want to say thanks again to Old Host for supporting the LCUS. Really appreciate all the sponsors, all you guys supporting us, even down to just the Twitch subscribers, YouTube subscribers. Really great to have this community growing in the way that it is. Commissioner Truffle doing a great job as well, of course.
Yeah, Sig set a great precedent. So for the most part, I just try to live up to him.
So looking at these team compositions, I feel like they have very different win conditions once again. Washed up top laner up on that Jax, if he can get that CS lead that we see top laners get against Darien so often, on the Jax it'll be very, very impactful compared to someone like Shen.
Yeah, but once again, I think that Phoenix's win conditions are just a little bit more one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
So still very strong win conditions, a great identity that they've constructed in their team comp, but not quite with the same flexibility that Blitzkrieg is pulling out. I do like Phoenix's team fighting comp better than I do. Phoenix is more than Blitzkrieg's. But Blitzkrieg definitely has a team fighting comp. It's there. They can make it work. But they can also make a 1-3-1 work, and I can't say the same about Phoenix. So I do very much like that versatility.
So we're into the Nero skin showdown once again. No skin on Fat Leon Gragas, but no skin on Braum for Lofi Senpai. So we're even in that regard. Who you like better?
Well, let's see. I think I like Blitzkrieg's more on this one. I do really like Soul Hunter Kane and Jaximus. Those are a couple favorites of mine. And a nice winter theme going on as well.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was coordinated. Maybe there was no skin on Braum intentionally because he's all wintry naturally.
I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, I'm gonna say Blitzkrieg on this one.
And Mistletoe LeBlanc has always been one of my favorites. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Blitzkrieg as well. As we load into the Rift for Game 2. Blitzkrieg trying to salvage 1 point, 1 game from this week that so far has not been very good for them in a gameplay or technical sense. Meanwhile, Phoenix looking for a 2-0 that would really start to put them in the conversation of, hey, is Team Phoenix actually the best team in the league? Because, I think a lot of people expected Option 12 to be the best team in Split 3, and Phoenix ended up overcoming them as well as take the Lantern in the finals. They're sort of in a similar dark horse position again this split, should they win this game.
Yeah, exactly. They're certainly making a great statement that they certainly deserve to be a playoff team at the very least. And really, that's all you got to do, right? You make it to playoffs, and then...
Oh, they land the Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto Loki Senpai. He might have to flash here. They get in, and he's going to go down. First blood, Hohenheim snipes him with the bubble. And the Braum is gone.
Hey, that rhymed. Zoe showing Zoe showing why she's such a nuisance to deal with, and was so often to get banned, especially when Zoe had that long period where she was such a strong champion. But doubly so here for Van Hohenheim. Interesting to note that he usually likes to start with his E with a sleepy bubble trouble spell. Oftentimes anyways, just to try to steal a buff or two away from the enemy jungler right off the bat. Not going to matter here for Sick Nasty J-Dog since he's starting with Raptors as Kayn, so kind of a moot point. But he does get that first kill, which is totally worth.
Yeah, Tardis did use Flash, and Lopi Senpai didn't burn anything, so... Blitzkrieg, they have a slight window if they want to try to get something back in the bot lane where they do have a Summoner Spell advantage down there. You wonder if they're trying to... communicate that to J-Dog, maybe get an early gank down in that bottom lane.
Yeah, certainly helps that J-Dog started on the top side as well. Big damage coming out of Jax. Big trade on Darien, but Darien makes half of it back. Going back to my previous point, though, Kayn starting on top side is really fortuitous for this flash situation at the very least, because he's going to be down in bot lane in a minute or two.
Oh boy, washed up top laner.
Holy
taken under 100 HP.
That is a real bad spot to be in for Darien. Fortunately, he does have a passive, but I think he's got to be worried about getting first blooded here.
Yeah, as you said, Kayn on the top side, doing the scuttle crab at the moment. And if he goes for that blue buff, he will be spotted by a ward, so Darien will know. Trouble Bubble lands onto Exi in the mid lane, but Hohenheim, oh, he does find the Paddle Star angle onto him. So the clone forced out very quickly there. J-Dog has left the top side, or is still in the top side, but not in the vicinity of top lane. Washed up top lane and tried to find another Counter-Strike trade, but was knocked back by the Arcane Smash. And Hohenheim continues to land those Trouble Bubbles onto Exia, get favorable trades, actually, as Exia dashes in on him.
Yeah, that and the Chains of Corruption was so close to landing anyways, but it didn't. And Van Hohenheim is just weaving these paddle stars. It is a challenge for
blood in the bot lane. Gotta get lucky, and Lopi Senpai are at a level disadvantage. I don't think they can fight this. Lopi Senpai staying down to about half health. They get the stun proc onto Tardis and will be able to disengage.
Kind of weird how that backfired for them, even despite the fact that they were a level ahead. That was a little bit interesting, but lots of scuffles all across the map. Pretty much every lane trying to wrest control of the camera.
Yeah, everybody trying to flex their muscles a little bit. Braum doesn't need to. Everyone knows about Braum's muscles, but another Trouble Bubble. Hohenheim's pretty low on mana, but the Paddle Star lands again. Exia, though, he knows Hohenheim's out of mana. He goes in with the Ignite, and there's the barrier, though, and the minions are going to kill Exia.
Oh, no!
Hohenheim walks away with a solo kill. Just didn't account for the barrier. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Batley showed up, washed up top laner, flashes, but still dies. Everything is going the way of Phoenix still in game 2.
That is not great for Blitzkrieg if they're looking to do the 1-1 like we set up. Excellent lane gank coming out of Fat Lee. Flashes forward with his body slam from pretty much max range. There wasn't much the wash up top laner could have done about it. Does try to flash out, doesn't work out. Exia tries to go in to try to get Van Hohenheim to stop abusing him, but it doesn't work either. So
Yeah, I think he didn't calculate for the barrier. Absolutely had the solo kill with the ignite, but Hohenheim putting that barrier on at the last second, and then the minions were all aggroed to the LeBlanc.
Yeah, absolutely, and certainly, I don't think that Exia thought that the minions were going to be able to kill him as quickly as they did, and that was I think a big factor as well. I know it's really easy to underestimate minion damage, especially at the start of the game.
Now up in that top lane, you talked about Fat Lee with that flash body slam from Gragas. I was talking in Champion Select about how Maokai doesn't have the same dynamite ability as Malphite in terms of the Unstoppable Force ultimate, but Maokai has quite possibly the best gank assist in the game.
Speaking of gank assist, bot lane flashing forward.
Did get in range for the headbutt, just smashes the ground, but gotta get lucky, respected it and flashed away.
I think
the flashes, but support for AD carry, I think Phoenix comes out a little bit ahead on that one.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit unfortunate for Phoenix here. Oh, never mind, ganking top lane.
Ganking the top lane. They get the counter strike down, but Darien, he is trying to run away with the Nature's Grasp. Meanwhile, Tardis is trying to run down Whoopi Senpai in the bottom lane. Darien, he is so tanky already and able to absorb the damage from both the Jax and the Kayn. Walk back to his turret. Did have to use Flash. And now Hohenheim actually roaming up to the top lane.
Just collects a smite.
Yeah, looks like not too much gonna happen up there.
Yeah, it just ends up recalling, but didn't lose very much other than a couple of CS in mid lane, although got a teleport. That's why he ran up there. I get it.
So it's 3 kills over to the side of Phoenix, but it's only a 700 gold lead. We see Washed Up top laner with a farm advantage. Got to get lucky with a farm advantage. And even Exia with a slight farm advantage. But Phoenix, they're onto this Infernal Drake. We have had 4 Infernal Drakes in this series already, and it's gonna cause Loki Senpai to be baited into his own death, I think. About to go down. Evil Envy gets the heal off, and Sick Nasty Jaguar can't land the spell onto him. That's another 2 for 0, and the Drake will still be taken by Team Phoenix. Washed Up top laner can't salvage anything up there. Everything is just rolling right now.
Yeah, really rough.
Forced away as well.
Exactly, really rough start here for Blitzkrieg. They're certainly on the back foot again. This time, no technical difficulties. Phoenix absolutely able to do this on their own merit as well.
This could be a solo kill in the top lane. Oh, Darien, nice smash away.
Yeah, Arcane Smash was the only thing that's kept him alive numerous times. Darien doing a great job of telling Jax to back up every time Jax jumps up with Counter-Strike. Unfortunately, Arcane Smash is also one of the main ways. Never mind, as Gragas...
Fat Lee could get this kill. Predators pop. There's the explosive cast. Gonna go down under the stage. You're welcome, Grandmaster of Arms.
Ooh. Also, Jinx fired up a rocket just to make sure things are going to happen.
Oh, here we go. Here's the 2 little women bouncing around the mid lane like crazy. Hohenheim gets the worst of that trade, but he will survive it and does pop the clone right back.
He ended up locked up under the turret for longer than any right to be locked up. Van Hohenheim playing very aggressively and getting away with it, although does have to spend barrier
once again. But Exia popped Ignite, so a trade there. Here comes Sick Nasty J-Dog, and he can't land. Once again, the Reaping Slash, and Hohenheim turns around and gets the 2v1 outplay. The wheels have fallen off the cart here for Blitzkrieg.
Again, this is uncharacteristically bad play coming out of Blitzkrieg. Normally it looks so sharp and so crisp. I wonder if they are just a little bit tilted from that game 1, or if Phoenix is just pushing them a little bit harder than they're used to getting pushed.
Well, I mean, we talked about at the very start of things, Exia has been so good in the mid lane this split. But when you think about mid laners in the LCUS, I mean, it's hard to say anyone is absolutely better than Von Hohenheim. He's been very good for a very long time, and he is standing up to Exia in a way that no one else has yet this split, frankly.
Yeah, that is a solid point. These are two of, in my opinion, probably the best mid laners. There is such a talented pool for sure, but these players in particular are incredibly talented. And I don't think that Blitzkrieg is able to play around their win condition, not necessarily automatically winning.
Now, Sick Nasty J-Dog has found Alonzi Tardis, but... Oh, actually, they land the Chain of Corruption onto Evil Envy and the Winter's Bite. Can they run down the Jinx? He actually turns back into the Braum auto attack, and they land the stun. Sick Nasty J-Dog going to show up, and they will finally get a kill. Finally, Team Blitzkrieg pick up something on the map. It's still a 2,500 gold lead, though.
I gotta say, Luffy Senpai took Blitzkrieg, put him on his back, and said, no, this kill goes to someone else. But but he made that happen. Bought enough time for the rest of his team to connect with and get that kill. Does spend his ult, doesn't have to flash or exhaust or any of the summoners, so all in all, really well played off of Luffy Senpai.
So at this point, you know, you played in the LCUS last split. You're, you know, a more experienced player than I am. When you're down 3,000 gold at this point, it's been almost everything going the way of the other team. What do you focus on? Do you focus on your individual play? Do you try to up your communication? What's the important thing for Blitzkrieg to be doing right now to try to take the baby steps that they need to get back into this one?
So I can tell you what I always do, which is I focus on my own gameplay and don't communicate more, which is not great. But big fight. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, Hohenheim just explodes J-Dog in the jungle as they caught onto Fat Lee, but they didn't have the jungle or the damage to finish him up. Hohenheim forced to stopwatch and then flashes away. Exia really wants that kill, but he leaves Gotta Get Lucky alone. Will he come back to get Fat Lee? There's no cooldowns available. He jumps in. Oh man, Gotta Get Lucky goes down. Evil Envy gets the reset. The zap lands. Super mega death rocket. Lopi Senpai can't get away from it with the flash. That's a triple to the Jinx. And now Evil Envy is online in a big way.
Right, that is just more and more of Phoenix playing really well.
Oh my god, washed up top laner failed his flash, but still gets the kill. I think he failed his flash. He flashed about 2 feet to the left.
I may have been wrong, but I think Darian just landed another fantastic arcane smash off the back of that, although I might...
during the animation? Alright,
yeah.
That makes more sense.
But a really...
Hits from J-Dog this time, and he goes in with the ultimate. Does he have the damage? Barrier once again from Hohenheim. Might save him. Exia gets in. There's the shutdown. Even if it's not going to be a comeback, that's got to feel good for Exia to finally kill Hohenheim.
Yeah, exactly. At the very least, excuse me, cathartic, you know, to just finally get that kill in there, right? He's been trying for a long time. Yeah, really ill-advised Twist Advance coming out of Darian to put him back into range. I think he's trying to get his passive auto attack off, but actually Jax lands the kill first. Another fight happening here.
Boy, Gotta Get Lucky stepped onto the chompers. This could be a dangerous situation. Luffy Senpai trying to zone people out, but I think he might go down to the Ignite. Yes, Tardis picked it up. Meanwhile, washed up top laner has shown up. He kills Fat Lee in the jungle, so that's a second heal for the Jax. He's on the flank. He's trying to get in onto Evil Envy. He doesn't have very much backup. Gotta Get Lucky is here. He jumps. He doesn't get the counter-strike stun. Exia coming in. Very low, though. Great headbutt, Tardis. And, oh, it's a trade. The Jinx goes down, so does Exia. Hohenheim's on the way, but I don't think he'll get there in time. Darian working on this hurt. Washed up top laner, trying to get up there. Oh, the paddle star doesn't interrupt teleport, so Hohenheim gets a little chunk on him. But washed up top laner gets there, and washed up top laner all of a sudden is 3-2-1, has a 30 CS advantage. If it's me, I'm starting to think that for Blitzkrieg, you start thinking of him as your win condition in this game.
Yeah, you're correct. He is absolutely one of the still valid win conditions for Blitzkrieg, but another one is Gotta Get Lucky's Varus. He's been doing really well in the champion, actually, and has a lead. At least in CS. No, he doesn't have a lead over Jinx. I don't know why I'm saying that. But he's doing fine.
Hohenheim might be about to kill J-Dog in the jungle. Forced to flash away, but Hohenheim still sniping with the paddle stars. Flashes over the wall. One more trouble bubble would guarantee death. Doesn't get it, and now Luffy Senpai is here, lands the Winter's Bite. Will they try to run this down? Hohenheim has no summoners. That Faithful Barrier is final end cooldown. Gotta get lucky, gets minion blocked a little bit, but another Winter's Bite from Luffy Senpai. Hohenheim gonna get stunned up, gonna go down, oversteps. And that's 2 deaths for Hohenheim in the last couple minutes after such clean play early on. But Phoenix, smart play, they immediately shove out mid. And now they rotate top. Washed up top laner could be in a little bit of trouble here. Fat Lee not going to throw out the explosive cast. There it is. But I think Washed up top laner will be able to live through this. He might jump back onto Darren. He gets the kill. Can he get the 2v1? Fat Lee jumps in. Needs a little bit more damage. Washed up top laner. Gonna try to get away, but Evil Envy's here to clean it up. Oh, a shame, actually. I think they should have given that shutdown over to the Jinx.
Super unfortunate for Washed Up top laner. Plays incredibly well. Secures 1 kill in a 2v1 under turret, but decides to back off just in time to see a Jinx cutting off his route of retreat. He might have been able to get more if he had just gone in, but you know, that's perfect hindsight. There's no way that he had to know that that was happening.
So it was a trade of outer turrets, but Phoenix are still going, and Exia and J-Dog are not making any move to try to contest this. Exia was just clearing mid lane, J-Dog clearing Raptors, and they give up a second turret for free. And now they have to watch out for the Death Brush. Oh, Luffy Senpai, support life, man. Have to be the one to face check and be the one to get punished.
Yeah, so rough for Luffy Senpai, but I do want to say he's been playing so well. You know, here he's just trying to ward. That's his job. It was a really well-executed Death Brush. That's not really anything bad on Luffy Senpai. But for the rest of this game, he has just been serving up kills and gifting them to his teammates and playing really well.
I agree. I think he has played extremely well. Hohenheim going to go down again as the solo laners of Blitzkrieg team up to tag team down the Zoe. And now there's pings on the Ocean Drake as Rift Herald goes down on the side of Team Phoenix. So Blitzkrieg, I think that they've started to stabilize. They've gotten a couple of kills, gotten their swag back a little bit. And Exia is waiting for someone to come face check this. Mega Death Rocket comes in just a little bit late, and Blitzkrieg should try to run away from this. Nice flash body slam. Fat Lee just nukes down the LeBlanc, and that's why you built the Gragas damage. Washed up top laner trying to flash away, but he's gonna go down again, I think. Oh, Winter's Bite, will it save him? No, Evil Envy's right around the corner. And Tardis picks it up, another kill, sniped away from Evil Envy.
Yeah, it's a 4-1 Alistair. I didn't notice.
Team Phoenix does win the fight, so they will be able to push onto this turret. It's Rift Herald being summoned as well. This is one of those Rift Heralds that might actually end up hitting an inhibitor turret.
Oh, I think that's absolutely going to hit the inhibitor turret. Phoenix has done a great job of grouping up here. This is absolutely their win condition. They have all of their tanks right next to their ADC, who is doing incredibly well at 525. There is that Rift Herald hit.
Senpai comes out with the Glacial Fissure, and they all go in now, but Sick Nasty J-Dog is all alone in the backline trying to disrupt things. Evil Envy's exhausted, but just going to run away and wait it out. Here comes Hohenheim. Trouble Bubble misses. Got to get lucky, able to stay safe for now.
Oh.
And is actually the one to drop. Exia goes in, gets a ton of damage. Now Washed Up top laner. Can he get onto Evil Envy? He is trying to nuke down this string. Exia goes in, actually goes for Darien, but that's okay because Washed Up top laner finishes up. Now Hohenheim all alone, gonna get stunned up, and Phoenix oversteps. They give up 3 kills. Blitzkrieg, fine defense there.
That wasn't just a fine defense. I mean, it was a fine defense. You're not wrong, but that was a that was a perfect defense. Through the Rift Herald, that engage, I think they might have even been outnumbered at the start of that fight. Just an incredible fight coming out of Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, I think that there may have been a little bit of a split call from Phoenix. It seemed like some of them were trying to disengage, wait for the next minion wave. Tardis stayed under the turret, ended up getting nuked down. Blitzkrieg takes advantage. And even though it's still a 5,000 gold lead, you have to think that they feel way better than they did about, say, 10 minutes ago.
And do want to point out that it is Darken Kane that has happened. So Sick Nasty J-Dog is significantly stronger than he was just at that last team fight even. So Jeff, for the last, I don't know, 5 minutes, I've been trying to tell you what I would do if I was behind and how I was supposed to play it. And what I was going to say is communication, try to make local advantages, that kind of thing. That's a really short answer. Oh, never mind. A big fight coming out.
Washed up top laner is going to go down again. Zap! Oh my gosh, fancy feet. He went to Fred Astaire School of Dance, but it's not going to be enough. The keg comes down. Okay, what would you do, Ben?
I'm sitting here looking at the menu map, just like, okay, is now. But what I would do is exactly what we just saw, because they played really well. Yeah, you're gonna have to give away some turrets. You're gonna have to make some concessions. But if there's a fight that you can take, you should take it. But you have to be really confident in that. And Blitzkrieg has done a great job of taking the fights they needed to take.
Now, Team Phoenix, they're gonna get this inhibitor turret. They do have to be a little careful about overstepping because Washed Up top laner has teleport available, and there are a couple wards in the blue quadrant jungle if he wanted to pull off some sort of flank. Looks like he's just going to run back to the fight, though.
No need to spend that teleport if it's not going to get you anything, right?
Oh, Chain of Corruption onto Hohenheim. He's taken extremely well, has to flash away. Now, all the tanks are just bruising in the front, and Evil Envy is firing away from the back. J-Dog tries to get onto him, gets in there with the ultimate, but I don't think it's going to be enough damage. Washed Up top laner jumps in. He can't finish Evil Envy either. The red buff keeps him away on the counter-strike. Got to get lucky. He's free fighting from the back line, though. He takes down the front line of Phoenix, and overall, that's actually a 2-for-2 team fight. But Phoenix comes out with a massive advantage in terms of health bars, and they can continue this push. Could be 2 inhibitors going down right here.
Yeah, it could be. Although I do think that they'll be able to reset maybe before the first inhibitor goes down, but definitely before the second one does. Axia makes it out on such a sliver of health. It looks like definitely this inhibitor's down, but that's all that they're going to get. Oh, Axia jumps in.
They actually stick around. Exia goes in. They cannot get onto the Jinx, though. Now gotta get lucky is the one trying to run down this Jinx. Tardis is there. He will get sent up. He will sacrifice himself. Fat Lee again takes down Exia. That Gragas damage is massive. Sick Nasty J-Dog trying to run down his counterpart in the jungle. The body slam gets him away. Here comes Teleport from Darien to save his jungler for now. Evil Envy is doing such a good job of staying safe in these fights, but the front line of Phoenix is also doing an incredible job making sure he stays safe.
Yeah. Phoenix playing this out really well, but so is Blitzkrieg. This is such a great match. Evil Envy is almost untouchable in these fights, and that has a lot to do with the front line, and it has a lot to do with Evil Envy. One thing I did notice, I kind of think that...
Oh boy, he's about to be touched, and it's not going to be fun.
Ooh.
Top laner shows up. Blast Cone, light post to the face.
Yeah, that was a... yeah, there's a lot of jokes I'm not going to make here. That was not great for Jinx. But really well done out of Washed Up top laner to get that fight as oh, it's another Infernal, isn't it? So there's
another Infernal. Sick Nasty J-Dog goes in. They don't get the perfect explosive cast, and Luffy Senpai may be able to get away from this. Nature's Grass might grab him, but it'll be too far away at this point to capitalize. Washed Up top laner is up on the top side. Going to destroy that turret with the satisfying Jack hitting sounds, but they trade the Infernal Drake for it. Overall in the series, this is the 5th Infernal Drake going over to Team Phoenix.
I'm so used to that Paddle Star stealing it that I saw it come in, and I was like, oh, are they going to get it? No.
Oh, and I might. No, doesn't go all in for it, Luffy Senpai. Chunked down to half, though, from 1 Paddle Star.
Yeah, Zoe's damage has always been a little bit too incredibly OP, but but at least...
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Zoe as a champion, obviously, but Luffy Senpai has a little bit of resistances coming in at this point, enough to withstand that, so that's perfectly fine. He wasn't really in too much danger. Although I would have liked to have seen him throw up the shield to prevent that Paddle Star from doing any damage to him, just because there's no reason to take that damage. Ooh, starting Baron? Is this
starting onto the Baron? Yeah, I mean, you have the Jinx who just rips this thing apart so fast with the minigun. I think this is something that Blitzkrieg cannot give up. At a 7.
Oh no, yeah.
If you give up this Baron, the siege is going to be relentless. Wash Up top laner in the backline, but he's all alone. Jumps in onto Evil Envy, and Exia, oh, the interrupt was huge. Couldn't get back onto Evil Envy. The Jinx is still alive, and now she is excited. Down goes the Jax. Kane is in there, but I don't think he has the damage. Darian is just, oh, what a knockback on it. Gotta get lucky. Dead to rights. Double kill for the Alistar. Tardis is still bloodthirsty. 6 kills for the cow in this game. And Phoenix now, they have an open inhib, or excuse me, the inhib is gone. 5 versus 2 on the map. This thing is over. What a series from Team Phoenix.
Absolutely, some really fantastic team fights. The moment the one bit of critical CC is landed, everyone just piles on, and that's true for both teams. But Phoenix has just been executing overall better this this whole set as both turrets go down.
The turrets drop. It's all just academic at this point. Honorable defense from the remaining members of Blitzkrieg, but they will drop. A little bit of a stall. Triple kill for Fatley at the end. 11, 2, and 12 on that Gragas. Even built a Lich Bane. Wow.
I gotta say, at least in my solo queue games, I haven't seen a Gragas play that well. I've never really understood the damage until Fatley educated me otherwise in this game.
He was pretty much one-shotting Exia by the end of the game with his combo. It was a little bit scary.
For sure, for the academics of it, he one-shot Gotta Get Lucky on the platform as he spawned in. Like, that actually just happened.
Oh, actually had the most damage to champions in the game.
Yeah,
Fatley on Jungle Gragas. Over double Hohenheim's damage. Wow, what an impressive performance from Team Phoenix. Blitzkrieg disappointing week in multiple ways. And Phoenix and Blitzkrieg will actually be tied for second in the standings now after that with 7 points apiece.
Yeah, exactly, and there is certainly lots to look forward to for Blitzkrieg. You know, there's still second place team, really solid chance to going to playoffs. That's no biggie. But also for Phoenix, really well done. Came from one of the teams that was tied for 1, struggling at the start of the split, 2, tied for second. That is a huge story coming out of Phoenix, and really they proved why in this set.
Yeah, really, really impressive performance from Phoenix. Not only that first game using that wombo combo composition that we saw them use last week, but then when they have that taken away, they say, hey, we can win by more conventional means as well. And they pretty much just ran circles around Blitzkrieg in that game. Credit to Blitzkrieg for stabilizing a little bit. Some very impressive base defenses, but in the end, you never really felt like Phoenix was under threat.
Perfect. And with that, excellent analysis. I think we're going to end the stream here real quick as we get set up for interview.
An interview with Fatley.
One of these times I'll remember
his,
that.
Massive Gragas performance, so we can hop over there.
Thank you, Jeff, and hop we shall.
Just waiting for Truffle. There we go. Hey, congrats on the 2-0. That was an awesome series to watch.
That was it was nice actually.
So I want to start with game 1. You guys, once again, you ran that Fiddlesticks comp with the Wombo combo, and we saw you guys run that twice last week. At this point, if teams leave that up, are you guys just gonna take that every time?
It depends if we get the fiddle. I'm just kidding. Yeah, usually it depends if we get the fiddle, because like the fiddle is our main damage. So quote, don't ban him. But like if all around does well, then we have a really good synergy between like top lane and like every time nobody bans my fun, we get that instant R knock up, and then with the Amumu bandage too, and then like the R just like I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I mean, actions speak louder than words, and you guys pulled it off quite a bit today. Truffle, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of bodying people and teams, let's talk a little bit about Gragas, because you had some fantastic body slams, and you almost, I think you one-shotted people by the end of the game. Tell me a bit about some of those pickoffs that you had, right? There might be some, obviously you've sort of shown me why to build him damage in this game, right? How do you like Gragas?
Gragas is a really good champion overall. If you can like land all his combos, it's like, dude, it like does massive amount of damage. But plus, like, if I was gonna be behind, I would have went tank, but then like as soon as I saw that I was in the lead, I was like, well, I might as well just go AP and just maybe demolish these kids a bit. But I did hear one thing about the announcer said that we might be get too old by Blitzkrieg, but I guess we did the reverse sweep. So
You
it
absolutely
was-
did, and we did say that might happen. So, yeah, way to call us out, make us be.
Yeah, lesson learned, right?
And then my last question goes to your game 2 composition. Once again, you talked about how important the Malphite is for Darian. We know that he's very, very potent on that champion. How much of a priority is it for you guys? Because we know Hohenheim has his favorite picks. You obviously have your favorite picks. If they leave the Malphite up, do you consider that, top tier priority?
yes, I believe because I would say yes because like I said, Darian is just there to soak up all the damage for us and peel for us as well while he can before he dies. So
Uh-huh.
he is really top tier.
All right.
And sometimes when he gets banned, yeah, we revert to our second.
All right. And then one last question. I have to ask it. You can answer with shades of gray if you want. We did have that disconnect with Exia in game 1, where game 1 was relatively even, and then I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but from an observer's perspective, it looked like everything started to go your guys' way after that. When someone disconnects like that, is it awkward being the team playing against it? Having to, do you feel bad about it at all, or do you just have to roll with it?
It's like okay, the scenario is I was like right next to Fiddle. I was like, dude, just kill him. But he's like, and this, knowing Spencer, like, I don't want to do that. It's kind of bad. But I'm like, well, I don't know. It's like a gray, like you said, gray area. For me, I just like, let's go. But then like we waited for him to move, and then
Yeah.
we moved afterwards. So we're like, well, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was-
Any other
it was-
questions, Ben?
No, only thing I wanted to add is Fetley. Anything you wanna say to the LCUS?
Oh, I'm just glad I came back and get to play with my team. I was kind of sad that I was gonna not play this split, but then next, we got a emergency sub or player, so I'm just happy for my team too.
Awesome.
Especially every time we get subbed, it's kind of hard because we have to practice within like a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it was really nice. Thank you, Norm. You're the best.
Well, we're happy to have you too, and thank you for the interview. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And with that, I think it's time to quick pause the stream as we get ready for our third set of the game. See you all in a few.